I'm sorry, sweetheart. I'm truly sorry that I didn't confess my real feelings to you when you asked me to. It wasn't because I wanted to hurt you or play games with your heart, never. That was never my intention, not for a single moment. How could I possibly want to hurt someone I respected so deeply? You were never just another person to me. I respected you, your presence, your kindness, and the way you cared for me. I cherished the way you always looked out for me, and I admired the love you gave so freely. But at that time, I didn't understand the emotions I was experiencing. I didn't know what it meant to fall in love. I'd never felt anything like that before, so I didn't even recognize it when it was happening to me. I convinced myself that the connection I felt with you was just friendship, nothing more. I thought that maybe I cared so much about you because you were my best friend. I thought the reason I worried about you constantly, the reason I wanted to be there for you no matter what, was simply because I valued our friendship deeply. I believed the reason I got upset when others tried to get close to you was just me being protective, like a close friend should be. But the truth is, I was in denial. Deep down, there was something more, something I hadn't yet allowed myself to acknowledge. My friends saw it before I did. They told me those weren't normal feelings to have for just a friend. They told me I was in love, that I had fallen for you. But I refused to listen. I was stubborn. I told myself again and again that I wasn't capable of falling in love. I had trained my mind to reject the idea, to fear it, even. After seeing so many broken relationships around me, relationships that started with love but ended with pain, I convinced myself that love was a trap, something temporary, something not meant for me. I thought I was protecting myself by not falling, by keeping my heart guarded. But in doing so, I unknowingly hurt the one person who never deserved to be doubted, you. Then, everything began to shift when you started pulling away from me. When you created distance between us, it was like something inside me cracked. I began feeling restless, anxious. I would check my phone over and over, waiting for your texts or calls, and when you didn't respond, it felt like something heavy was sitting on my chest. When you ignored me, I didn't just feel disappointed, I felt angry, hurt, and confused. Why was it affecting me so much? Why did I feel so incomplete without you? The moment I saw you laughing and talking with someone else, something hit me hard. I didn't recognize the feeling at first, but it overwhelmed me. I was jealous. I was angry. I felt helpless. All those emotions crashed into me at once, and I couldn't pretend anymore. That moment forced me to confront myself. I realized that something was wrong, not with you, but with me. I needed to look within and ask myself the questions I had been avoiding for so long. So I did. I asked myself how important you were to me. I asked myself what I truly felt when I thought about you, when I imagined life without you in it. And the truth broke me. I couldn't imagine my days without you. I couldn't picture a future that didn't include your smile, your voice, your presence. Everything felt dull and colorless when I imagined a life without you. There was no joy, no spark. That was when I finally understood, I had fallen in love with you. And not just a little, I had fallen deeply and completely, even though I had spent so long trying to deny it. Yes, love still scares me. The idea of being vulnerable, of giving someone the power to hurt me, terrifies me. But do you know what scares me more? The idea of never telling you how I feel. The thought of losing you forever, of never being able to show you how much you truly mean to me, that's what terrifies me the most. So here I am, finally being honest. I love you. I've loved you for a long time now, even if it took me far too long to realize it. I'm so sorry it took me this long to admit it, not just to you, but to myself. You were right all along. My friends were right too. I was the last to see it, and I was a fool to ignore what was so obvious to everyone else. I know I can't go back in time and change how I handle things. But I hope it's not too late. I hope there's still a part of your heart that's open to me. I love you, truly, and I hope you can forgive me for taking so long to say those words that you've deserved to hear for so long. Your person is really going through a lot right now, and so are you. This connection has been in separation for quite some time, and that distance hasn't come without reason. You both have faced countless blocks and delays, emotional, situational, even spiritual, that created space between you. It may have felt like the universe was working against you, but in truth, this separation was divinely orchestrated. It's not a punishment. It's a pause. One that was necessary for both of you to grow, to heal, and to shift the way you perceive love, not just romantic love, but the love you hold for yourselves. From the beginning, there was a deep, almost magnetic pull between the two of you. Something about this connection felt larger than life, and maybe at times even overwhelming. But despite the depth of emotion, there was a lack of emotional readiness. Neither of you had truly opened your hearts to the world. There were fears, insecurities, and unhealed wounds that made it hard to fully show up for each other. And without realizing it, you both may have sabotaged the connection. Not out of ill intention, but from a place of protection, a fear of being seen too deeply, or of being hurt in ways you've been hurt before. This disconnection, as painful as it has been, served a greater purpose. You both needed to be cracked open. You needed to be shown your own patterns, your own pain, and your own need for healing. The universe pulled you apart so you could finally see yourselves clearly, without the distraction or the emotional noise of the connection. You were given the space to grow, to reflect, and to learn how to love yourselves first, something that neither of you had fully done before this. Self-love isn't always easy. It requires facing your shadows, your flaws, and the parts of yourself you've tried to hide. It forces you to address where your insecurities come from, why you feel unworthy of certain types of love, and how you may have unintentionally hurt those closest to you. Both of you are in that space now, working through the pain not just from this connection, but from your individual journeys as well. And though it might feel lonely or hopeless at times, this work is sacred. It's necessary. One of the most important lessons you're both learning right now is about forgiveness. Not just forgiving each other, but forgiving yourselves. For the mistakes you made, for the love you didn't know how to give, for the moments where fear won over faith. You're beginning to recognize the outdated beliefs and toxic emotional cycles that kept you stuck, not just in this connection, but in life in general. And you're slowly breaking free from them. That's powerful. Although you're apart, the energetic connection between you two remains unshaken. There's still a strong pull, a sense of knowing, a quiet echo in your soul that reminds you of them, even when you try to forget. And that's because this connection is deeper than the physical. It's spiritual. It exists on a level where time and space don't apply. And while the separation may feel like an ending, it's actually a transformation. Something new is being born from this silence, something more conscious, more aligned, and more real. Soon, there will come a realization that the distance between you was never truly about physical miles or silence. It was about healing. It was about shedding the layers of ego, fear, and codependency so that when you do come back together, because for many of you, it will be from a place of truth. A place of wholeness. You are both being guided to find peace within yourselves first, to reach inner union, and only then can you come into outer union. This isn't a journey for the faint of heart. It's spiritual alchemy. You're being asked to rise, to grow, to trust. And most importantly, to listen to your heart. Because beneath all the pain, confusion, and distance, your heart knows the truth of this connection. It always has. When you stop trying to control the timing, when you surrender the need for certainty, you make room for miracles. You create the space where love, real, unconditional love, can finally breathe. So be patient. Continue doing the inner work. Keep looking at this journey from a higher perspective. Trust that what's meant for you won't miss you. And know that every moment of separation is preparing you for the kind of love that doesn't just change your relationship, it changes your life.